everyone, what's going on? Joey here, and on today's episode, we're doing a video you guys have been asking for a while. We're going to reveal who's under the mask of the Whatchamacallit. That's where we're going to go through the clues, the pitch correct audio. But before we do, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you give this video a thumbs up. Let's get started. So for those who are new to the YouTube channel, hi, how are you? My name is Joey Contino. I'm an executive audio producer in New York City, where it's my job to go ahead and provide audio for my clients. Now, when that audio sounds bad, it's my job to make it sound good, and that's by maybe going ahead and playing with the EQ, maybe taking out a little buzz, maybe lowering the audio, maybe raising the audio, and in the case for the Masked Singer, it's figuring out the pitch correct. Every single week we get these brand new clue packages, and in those clue packages are the celebrities talking. But Fox is smart. They're like, hey, we can't let them hear the real voices because if we do, they're gonna recognize them. So they take that audio, they speed it up and pitch it up. That way you have no idea who it is. Now they also do the same thing when Nick asks them a question on stage. That way you still have no idea who it is. Well, doing what I do, I figured I could slow down them talking to the judges, slow it down, pitch correct it, that way we can hear the real celebrity voice. Now I take that audio and I compare it to my top 5 guesses on who I think that person is, and then boom! We go ahead and we can figure out the celebrity. I mean, to me, we're at the point now where we got every single character right except for one. And I think that we're going to be right with this one today. And let me know in the comment section if you do agree with me. Now, before we go through the audio, we're going to go through the clues because we're going to answer the clues after we're through the audio. So make sure you stay to the end. So starting off the preseason, he said, the highest level of precaution on this show is unlike anything I've seen before. Security has everything on lockdown. They enter secret codes to get through secret passages. How am I supposed to meet all my secret admirers? So obviously this is someone that has a name for themselves and that they might have people that really want to meet them on the show, whether they're judges or other contestants. He says, some might say that my career had a magical start and then someone was seen with an ace of spades that burst into smoke. The next clues were from episode 2. His first clue package was really colorful and had a lot of like candy themes to it. He's seen flying, and then he high-fives the men in black. I mean, that's something, it's more like a basketball reference or maybe a sports reference right there. We see a lot of different things. We see fruit gel that he's jumping on. We see a sun. We see chocolate bars. We see a rainbow-colored beast, 3 of them. We see keys, a black panther. And he goes on to say, people think that he's shy because he lets others absorb his spotlight. He goes on to say that he can dance with the stars, surf candy bars, buzz with the bees, and swing from the keys. Seemed like a few references in there. I don't know if Dancing with the Stars is a reference. Maybe he's gonna be doing that show one day, whoever this is. He says, it's time to turn the tables on the world because I don't want to be here today and gone tomorrow, which means you have to be relevant with the times. The last clues in the package was a cuckoo clock, which has a lot of small clues on it. We see, besides normal numbers, we see the number 2, 7, 8, 4.0, 1, 6, 12, and then a record player, a shrimp, and a bear, which actually is the costume from season 3. It's a Sarah Palin bear. We see khaki pants, and then a triangle for music. A triangle, yeah. A lot of tiny clues on there. The next clues were from episode 4, where he started off saying, free, free, free! And he kind of got a lot bigger. He started to grow. He's then seen on top of a flower of some sort, looks like a dandelion, as he's swatting away at some green plains. And he grabs balloons like that movie from Up, and he gets taken up. He flies over golden steps, and you can see a house, which is purple. And then you have like a music staff, which has different notes on it. And if you actually look at it, I got my piano here, I don't have it on. But they are B's. They're different octaves of B's. The B, B, B. So B, 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 very important, remember there. He said that at the height of his career, he was ready to dance, but then he got a deflating phone call that his mom was in bad shape. He said, I wanted to be by her side, but she wanted me to continue the ride. She made me realize my dream was her dream. So I pushed forward. That's a big clue right there. Then he looked into a blue mirror which when he was saying that her dream was my dream. Next, we see him standing next to 5 different dimes. And then the last clue, which was his childhood clue, it was a bedtime storybook. And it was called Harry Tales of the Whatchamacallit Fam by Doodad Doohickey. So those are all the clues we have for the Whatchamacallit. Let's go through the audio. Here's the audio they gave us.
I appreciate it, Nick. I love a bedtime story, and I'm an open book. So, Ken, you should know exactly who I am.
Now, here's the pitch correct audio.
I appreciate it, Nick. I love a bedtime story, and I'm an open book. So, Ken, you should know exactly who I am.
Now, who do you think that is? Let me know in the comment section. I'll tell you who I think it is in a second. Ready? 3, 2, 1. I think it's Lonzo Ball. That's right, Lonzo Ball. Welcome to The Masked Singer. Let's go ahead and compare his speaking voice to the audio we have. Here you go.
I appreciate it, Nick. I love a bedtime story, and I'm an open book. So, Ken, you should know exactly who I am.
Like I said, I'm getting healthier. My body feels good. My confidence is, where it's supposed to be.
So that is extremely, extremely close. Now let's go through his rapping / singing. He's not really singing, he's rapping. Let's compare Lonzo and the Whatchamacallit.
Forget buy a drink, boy. Buy some singing lessons. I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
So yes, the audio says ding, 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 we have a winner. But let's go through and answer some of those clues, starting off with the preseason clue. Actually, before we get into clues, I just want to mention one thing. A lot of you guys are saying to me, he couldn't have been on the show because the NBA had a bubble where the players couldn't leave unless they were eliminated from the competition, from the playoffs. And well, what I did find out is that they were, his team, which are the Pelicans, they were eliminated on August 19th. He flew back home a few days later, and that is documented on his Facebook Watch show. I mean, what is that show called? I don't know what it's called right now, but they have a Facebook Watch show, and the most recent episode ties into that. It's when he came back in August. Now, the tease for the next episode kind of shows, it looks like they kind of jumped to it's either the end of September, early October, because it almost looks like they have Halloween decorations in there, which if there's a gap in there, it would kind of make up for him being on this show, because if we followed the plan for filming, he would have arrived back in LA, because he does live in LA. He arrived back in LA. He would have done at least 1 week or week and a half of quarantine, which in the video he did 1 week. And then because he was already living in LA, it's a short little drive to the studio. And from there, my guess would be he probably filmed this show they started filming the end of August. He either started the second to last week or probably the last week of August into the first week of September. So there's a gap in there, but I don't really know how that gap works out. So who knows? To me, it looks like there is a gap in between from his last episode to the new one that's coming up this weekend. Let's go through the clues. He mentioned about the security on the show and how high it is and that people, his admirers, won't be able to see him. Well, being a basketball player, we do know that Ken is a massive basketball fan. He's been in so many different sports shows just talking about the sport, which he's mentioned Lonzo before. Not only that, Ken used to live in New Orleans, which that's where Lonzo plays for. He plays for the Pelicans, who are located in New Orleans. And of course, now they both live in LA. I know, kind of funny. Keep in mind that Ken moved to LA a very, very long time ago. When he lived in New Orleans, he was doing his residency when he was a doctor. He's still a doctor, but not a doctor anymore. But after that, he moved to LA. He's lived in LA for a while. And when Lonzo first got drafted, he played for the Lakers. So you would say that Ken would definitely know who Lonzo is and is an admirer. So I know that one got long. Then we see a reference to a magical start in his career. Well, we do know that when he did join the Lakers in 2017, I want to say, Magic Johnson was the president of the Lakers. And so, I mean, the little magic right there, he helped pull him into the organization. The next clues are from episode 2. It starts off with him high-fiving the Men in Black. That's a sports reference right there. He high-fives everyone on his team, and then after the game, high-fives the other players. So, I mean, that's kind of any sport, and we do know that this season we really haven't had many athletes. I mean, we did have one baby alien over here with Mark Sanchez, and we're also thinking that maybe the jellyfish is the Olympic star. I mean, I'm not going to say who yet because I haven't done my reveal video for you guys yet, but it does make sense that she is the Olympic athlete on the show. So there has to be someone else in basketball. I mean, it adds up to be someone from a basketball team, and Lonzo just so happens to play basketball. After that, we see a lot of different clues. We see the clouds, the sun, the jello, the candy bars, the bees, and all that jazz. Lonzo's brother, and it's Leangelo. His nickname is Jello. So there's your Jello. And his other brother, LaMelo, goes short by Mello, which, there's your marshmallow. So there's 2 references to his brothers right there. When we see the bees, there's 3 bees, and we do know that his father started a clothing organization, which is letters are BBB. Now, it's funny because you look at BBB, which stands for Big Baller Brand. We come back to this later because if you remember, the music staff had bees on it, Big Baller Brand. They also, if you actually look at their house, go on Facebook Watch and watch an episode of their show. On the very front of their house, like at the very tip part, it says BBB. Yeah, they put that on their house. So big clue right there. After that, we saw Black Panther. There are 2 answers to this. One is that his father played for the Carolina Panthers. Big hint right there. But we also could say there was an article in which the NBA players would get matched up to a Marvel superhero. And it just so happens that Lonzo got matched up with the Black Panther. So 2 answers right there. He says that people think that he's shy because he lets others absorb the spotlight. Well, he has that show, and his father kind of is like the main host of it all. And think about it, everyone in that family was a basketball player, so they all have their own spotlight. And while he does seem like the shyer one in the family, he does let people go out and do their thing, though, let's be honest, he's like the brightest one there in the sense that his career is amazing. Oh, I almost feel like he's going to be better than his father when it comes to sport talk. I mean, let's be honest, Lonzo has been killing it lately, except for this season. I kind of feel bad that I think they lost to the Magic in the playoffs. I don't know. I'm not a basketball fan. So after that, he mentions swinging with the keys, which is a basketball term. Both of them are. Because I believe when you say swing with the keys, first of all, a swing pass is passing to the key players to go ahead and make the shot. I could be wrong. Well, I don't watch basketball, but that was what it was explained to me. He talked about it's time to turn the tables in the world because I don't want to be here today and gone tomorrow. And that references a lot of basketball careers. A lot of people, when they leave the NBA, that's it. I mean, unfortunately, they don't go on to do any notable things. And so while he's still young, because I think he's 22 or 23 right now, he wants to make his name in other different things, whether it's music, whether it's dancing. He wants to make sure that when he is gone, he's still current and relevant. So he'll always be here today. I know, it's kind of a weird thought to think about, but NBA players now have to think about that, knowing that their career is only going to span maybe 10 years. The next one, bear with me, there's a lot of tiny clues, and we're talking about the cuckoo clock. Okay, so there's a lot of different numbers that go into place. The number 2 is the only one that has a color and it's blue, and number 2 is Lonzo's jersey number, and then the blue, I know the Pelicans have so many different colored jerseys, but to give you an idea, they do have blue jerseys with his number 2. I mean, they have them in red, white, you name it. I don't know why they have so many different colors, but the 2 in blue refers to his jersey number on the Pelicans. After that, I mean, there's so many tiny little clues. Like, for example, the shrimp, Louisiana, that's where they're at. I mean, that's their dish, is shrimp. Shrimp everything. I mean, shrimp and grits are so good there. You need to if you ever go, try it there. They can't make it anywhere better over there. Next is the tan pants, where actually they're chino pants, and that references to his high school because he went to Chino Hills, where he got a 4.0, which is yet another clue on that clock. After that is the bear, well, the bear from season 3, but that plays off of his team, which was at UCLA. Their team was the Bruins, which is a bear. I know, we found our way to that clue. After that was the triangle, which is a reference to an offensive play in basketball. I could be wrong because I don't know anything about basketball. After that is record. there's twofold in that one, because you could say that he's broken many different records. And then you could also say that he has 2 records out already. They're both called, it's Born to Ball, and the other one is BBA, Bounce Back Album. I know. Next clues are from episode 4, and I apologize, this video is getting very, very long. He says free, 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 which is just something that you could say when no one's covering you in basketball, like pass me the ball, I'm open sort of thing. Then we see him swatting away at airplanes. That could refer to him having the ball, because he's sitting on a dandelion shaped like a ball, and he's swaying around, maybe trying to make a basketball shot and trying to get away from people. Once again, know nothing about basketball. This is just gonna guess. This is just guessing. Then we see the golden staircase with the purple house. When he first started out, he was in the Lakers. Those are the Lakers colors. We see that music set with BBB. Once again, that's his father's brand, big baller brand. Still can't believe they have it on the house. After this, he talked about at the height of his career, he got a deflating phone call about his mother. It turns out that when he was in the NCAA basketball tournament, he found out that his mother had a stroke and he didn't want to play. And he originally was going to leave to go ahead and be with his mother, but his mother said, no, you need to go back and do this. This is your dream. It was my dream too. And I mean, he actually says that he looked in the mirror and he said that my dream was her dream. And for those who don't know, she did play basketball one time. She played for Cal State, and her dream was to win the NCAA championship. So, technically speaking, her dream, his dream, same dream. We only have a few more clues to go, so bear with me here. We see 5 dimes, and this is something I didn't know. So Lonzo is a point guard, which I did know, but the job of the point guard is to go ahead and get the ball out to the dimes, which is the name for the other players on your team. I did not know that. I'm learning. This is like a lesson to me. I'm learning a lot. His childhood clue was a book called Harry Tales of the Whatchamacallit Fam. And if you actually look at the photo, it's him with 2 other people, and the one person, the father, has a mustache. And his father, as far as I can remember, always had some kind of like scruffy mustache there. Now, the last few clues I have for you are just kind of out of the box things. Whatchamacallit said that he grew up listening to Moneymaker by Ludacris, and if you do the math, that song came out in 2006. That'd make Lonzo, 9 years old? So I guess that kind of works out. The other clue I have goes back to the master list that Nick Cannon gave us in the preview episode, where he said altogether everyone on The Masked Singer has $400 million. Well, it turns out Ball has $25 million. So that at least adds to that. Also makes you wonder, where the heck is the other $375 million? Is that Wendy? Like, there's a lot of famous people on the show. I mean, obviously, it also could be the Broccoli because he's the most famous on this season. Anyway, those are all the clues. Let me know, do you guys agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comment section. I'm sorry that this video really got out of hand and got really, really long. But as we're getting to the top 6, as you know, because we have 2 up here, the Super 6, the clues are going to get longer and they're getting harder. I mean, right now, we're still trying to figure out who is the mushroom? Who is that? That mushroom is a harder right now. I think out of everyone here, the serpent is kind of hard, but the mushroom is hard. Which 2 would you like to see, or which one would you like to see next? The serpent or the mushroom, or either the jellyfish? I think that's all we have left to reveal. It's the serpent, the jellyfish, and the mushroom. So let me know below who you want to see next. Anyway, I'm Joey. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a thumbs up. I'll see you guys later. Bye.